It's a beautiful starry night here at Fatherhood Festival Field in Canton, Ohio, where tonight the undefeated Canton Classics take on the 3-1 DC Dragons here in the just above freezing temperatures. Alongside Rochelle Colston, Ron Haynes on stats, Charles Doherty on analysis. I am Cameron Irvine. Charles, happy to be here tonight to finish off a week 6, and we've got a good one.
We do. I love these division battles. I mean, we've got DC coming in, licking their wounds from their first loss last week, and they're coming into Canton to mix it up with the undefeated Classics. They met last season. DC won in a close one by 2, but this is going to be a huge test for DC, Cam. DC's no slouch, but Canton is top 5 offense in scoring, rushing, and rush TDs, and Canton has the best defense in the league, in my humble opinion. So add to that, they're 9-0 at home. DC's got a big battle tonight, and I'm excited to get this thing going.
I don't think it's an opinion, Charles. They're only giving up 4 points a game. They've been pretty incredible. Canton's wearing some 70s garb tonight. The diamond uniforms, first time debuting those. DC is in the road, white and gray. Canton, a dominant 14.5-point favorite tonight, 34.5 over-under. We're not expecting a lot of points, but we are expecting a lot of fun. Kick it, we are underway. It's the Classics getting the ball at the 1-yard line. On the return is Bob Lung, and Lung will get it up to the 25-yard line. Scar Patterson doesn't throw a lot of passes, Charles, but when he does, he's been pretty spectacular. Patterson, the quarterback, third in the league in completion percentage, 62.5.
I mean, he's a solid veteran. I mean, he's smart out there. He's got a high level of leadership, and it's going to be a huge test for the DC defense going up against Scar.
Let us know how Charles and I are sounding, making sure our audio levels are good here for tonight's contest. Scar Patterson will start under center against this DC defense. 2 backs to the right, 1 to the left for Canton. And a nickel look. The handoff will go to Logan Lee up front, picks up 3 yards on the play, brings up 2nd and 7.
That was kind of a statement hit by Vasquez, telling the halfbacks of Canton, you come up my way, I'm going to let you know.
Gain of 3. Johnson comes in the backfield. Bill Cherry is the fullback. Handoff, Robert Johnson on 2nd down and 7. He will pick up 3 yards. So 3 yards on each of the first carries for Canton will bring up an early 3rd and 4.
Well, the big test for the DC defense is going to be stopping the slow methodical drives of Canton. You said in the pregame show that they love the run and they're very effective at it. They got to shut them down on 3rd down and get their ball in the offense's hands.
3rd down and 4. Patterson going to take it himself. He slides, but he's short of the first down. Flying in to make the play was Jason Strongbow, and Patterson not trying to take a hit. Slides before the first down marker, and DC gets a 3-and-out to start the game.
Yeah, very close. I mean, I know it's where he starts the slide motion, but yeah, they could have challenged that without any complaints from me.
Kick is away. Dragons will get it from their 26-yard line. Kirby on the return. Gets it out to the 33, a pickup of 7. Shabazz Synergy comes out. He's 6th in the SFL in QBR, 83.1 average. He's been pretty solid for DC.
Yeah, and like I said at the top, DC's coming off a game that they're trying to forget, and they probably hate it when I keep bringing it up. Didn't put the ball in the end zone at all, just scored 1 field goal. So the defense is looking to come out and improve a point tonight. Excuse me, the offense is looking to come out and prove a point tonight.
First down at the 33-yard line. DC struggled on first downs against Fort Worth in their 28-3 loss last week against the Toros, trying to shake that off. And they'll hand it off to Chuck Steller to start the ball game, and Steller will pick up 5.
Yeah, I mean, the odds makers in Vegas would not have picked the first play of the game to be a handoff to the fullback, but I love it. Get the fullback involved, spread that ball around.
You could see Canton was kind of bringing pressure off the opposite side, so DC ran the other way, now in the I formation. 7 in the box for Canton. Shabazz Synergy will drop to throw. He'll fire deep down the middle of the field. It's intercepted. Overthrew the intended receiver. Picked off. That was King Jamal on the interception.
Sorry, yeah. I had it backwards. Yeah, he was just there reading the quarterback. Didn't have to do much. Stay in his place. Very disciplined. Just waited for the ball to get in his hands. And I don't think Shabazz saw the safety down there, but had to get rid of the ball because the pocket was breaking up.
So Jamal gets it to the 46-yard line for Canton just a couple minutes into this ball game. Percoco was the target, but Synergy overthrew the intended receiver, so Patterson and the offense will take back over. We'll go 4 wide receivers here. Dime look for the Dragons, showing some pressure. And they do bring a lot of pressure. Logan Lee trying to get away from it and will pick up 3 yards on the play, cleaning it up on the back end. Josh Vasquez already with his 3rd tackle. The Canton Classics offense has Scar Patterson, Robert Johnson, Logan Lee, and Bill Cherry in the backfield. Receivers are Ryan Owens, Andrew Gibson, Al Dillapre Sr., and Bob Lung. Tight end is Jack Wall. On the line, Jacques Lepankik, Max Van Linge, Adam Chance, Girth Lord, and Kiara Kilganon. A talented offensive front. 7:35 left in the first quarter. They will send Al Dillapre Sr. in motion. 4 runs so far for Canton on their first 4 offensive plays. This will be their first pass. Patterson is going to take off and run, actually, and Patterson says, I got the first down this time. Slides to the 31-yard line. First down, Classics.
A nice heads-up play. All the defenders were blanketing the wide receivers of Canton, and Scar just made a smart move. Get some yards, move the chain. Didn't expect him to get past the first down marker, but here we are. Great run by the quarterback.
7:10 to go in the first quarter. Canton moving the football here on their second possession after a surprising 3-and-out from the DC defense on their opening drive, but the Dragons in 2 plays gave the ball up. Gibson goes in motion now. Hand off Lee, and Lee will break off a tackle and pick up 8 down to the 23-yard line, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, one of the things that caught my eye looking at this Canton squad is the leadership. Well, the ownership of Canton loves to develop the leadership trait on their players. If you go back and just do a ranking of all the players, out of the top 50, 19 of the players with the highest leadership are from Canton.
Split backs in the backfield, 2nd down and 2. This team certainly plays together, unlike any other in the SFL. Robert Johnson goes in motion, going to be split out wide. And Patterson tries to sneak it again and gets crushed in the backfield. They're going to give him maybe a half a yard. I think that was Saeed Gore blitzing up the middle to set up a 3rd and 1. Patterson already with 3 carries.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like that was a miss block assignment there because there wasn't anyone in the way. The defensive tackle just went straight through the gap.
3rd and short, 6 to go in the first quarter. Hand off Johnson. First down to about the 19-yard line. Wrapped up at the end of the play by John DeSantis, his first tackle.
I mean, that's a kind of a punch in the gut for the defense after that great hit in the previous play to let them get that first down on that play. So, but they'll get together and they'll hold tight on this next play.
3 runs for Scar, 3 for Lee, 2 for Johnson on the opening drive. And Patterson had an opportunity to throw. He just decided to take off and run it instead. Man look here for the Dragons. Jack Wall goes in motion. And the toss play is out to Lee. Lee breaks off a tackle inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. And it'll set up a 2nd down and 5.
With the exception of that one play where the defensive tackle blew up the play in the backfield, the offensive line for Canton has been doing pretty good blocking, holding their scheme and really making their way, putting leverage on the line.
5:03 to go in the first. Hand off Johnson. Johnson cuts it up the middle or towards the middle of the field and gets to about the 8-yard line. Canton is bleeding a lot of clock on this second drive as DC tries to hold him to 3.
And if you look at the blocking there, I already mentioned the offensive line, but the wide receivers on the edge, they held all the defenders in check as well, and that was a great lane for the running back to take.
7 in the box for Canton. Patterson back to throw. Patterson will throw for the first time tonight. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown. Ryan Owens from 8 yards out, and the Classics are on the board first.
Yeah, that just shows you how smart Scar is. He had a split second there to make a decision and just rifled the ball into Owens' open arms in the end zone. Great play by the quarterback. He's really opening up some eyes tonight.
Owens running across, little scissors concept in the back. Wrapped up by Peanut Say, but too little too late, and Canton is on the board first. That drive, 8 plays, 46 yards. And the Scar Patterson touchdown pass, his 4th of the season. That draws him even with his touchdown interception ratio. Extra point from Rob Ems is good, 7-0 Canton.
Yeah, I mean, you just can't make mistakes against Canton because they make you pay, and this was proof on that last drive. The interception by Shabazz. Canton just methodically went down the field, ate up some clock, and put it in the end zone.
DC will try again. Just 2 plays offensively so far. Canton only allows opponents 45 offensive plays. Not a lot of long drives against this team, and actually put down at the 17-yard line. Sam Harrison on the return won't even get out to the 20.
I mean, Synergy's he's a veteran. I mean, he's been playing this game for a long, long time, so he's not one of those players that's going to let that one interception bother him.
4:32 to go in the first. They go empty on 1st and 10 with 4 receivers, and Synergy's pass is incomplete. Was looking for a diving Lyric Da Vinci, just couldn't find it. 2nd and 10.
Mike Auld, the defensive end, looked like he was in a 2-point stance on the edge there, lined up like a linebacker in coverage, but he blitzed up. He blitzed up to the quarterback. I thought he was going to get him as well.
Trips left for Synergy on a 2nd down and 10. Going to send Josh Gill in motion. Da Vinci and Percoco with the early targets. Synergy to throw, 4-man rush. Synergy clean pocket. That pass is caught. One-handed catch from Lyric Da Vinci out to around the 30-yard line. Dragons move the chains, 1st down.
They tried to overload the inside of the offensive line with that pinch stunt, and the offensive line of the Dragons just wasn't having it. They did a great job of giving their quarterback enough time to get the ball out to the waiting arms of the wide receiver, Da Vinci.
About 33 degrees here in Canton, Ohio. Bit chilly as the winter season rolls on. They swap the trips from left to right for Synergy. He'll go straight back and fire to Josh Gill, who thought he had a catch, but a perfect hit from King Jamal. He's having an unbelievable first quarter.
That he is, Cam. That was a really powerful hit. I thought it was going to be a 1st down and one of the catches of the ball game so far. Not so much with Jamal covering him.
Jamal now with a pick and a pass breakup. 2nd down and 10. DC's not gone back to the run since that first 5-yard pickup. Synergy back to throw again. And Synergy over the middle throws an interception. Unbelievable. Right to Mark Gronick. And Canton's going to be set up with terrific field position once again.
Well, Gronick had an interception last week. He has one tonight. You know, the streak keeps going. He was just standing in there playing center field, and the ball went right to him. This is not looking good for the for DC so early in the game, given 2 turnovers, and this one especially so deep in their own territory. I mean, it could be absolutely dreadful for DC at this point.
Setting up Canton once again with a short field. Josh Gill was the target. And Patterson will drop to throw for the 2nd time tonight. That pass is incomplete. Owens, as DC can hit 2. Darrell Bullock with the breakup.
Right. That was a good hit. I thought he had it, but Darrell Bullock's out there. He leads the team with 3 interceptions, and he's not shy of hitting the wide receiver, and we saw it on that play.
.350 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Canton. Patterson going to throw again. Going to dump off a little screen to Johnson. He'll pick up 6 yards on the outside. 3rd and 4.
Smart play, dumping it off to Johnson, making a nice manageable 3rd and 4. And Scars, he is he's got every play in the playbook at his disposal, and he's just going to see what DC has to show him, maybe do an audible, and this is the point for DC to make their statement.
Be a 46-yard field goal from here for Canton's Rob Ems. DC brings 4. Patterson rolling to his left. That pass is caught by Jack Wall, being chased in coverage by Bullock. Wrestled down at check that Peanut say. Wrestled down about the 5-yard line. 1st and goal.
That was just enough time. You saw Scar take a couple steps out of the pocket, give him just enough time for Wall to develop that route and get some separation from the defender, and it was wide open at that point.
37 yards so far for Patterson tonight. And once again, DC will try to bend, not break here. Wall's got a catch. Owens has a catch, as does Johnson. 3 for 4, 37 yards for Scar. Handoff, Bill Cherry, the fullback, breaks a tackle, and he's in. Touchdown, Canton, 13-0 Classics.
Second touchdown of the season for the big Bill Cherry fullback, 6 foot, 245. I mean, he's a hard man to bring down, but man, you really gotta do something to get those people out of from the end zone. I mean, this is not looking good for the DC defense.
The Classics take 2 interceptions and turn them into 2 touchdowns. Their average drives have only been about 45 yards up to this point, because DC has made it pretty easy on them, at least in the turnover department. 4-play, 35-yard drive makes it 14-0 Canton over DC.
It looks to me like, Canton on defense is just playing a lot of, zone coverage, and that the front 4 of Canton's putting enough pressure on Shabazz. No sacks, but putting enough pressure to make him have to get rid of the ball quickly, and it's making him, make poor decisions downfield.
At the goal line, Harrison on the return is 2nd of the night. This one much better than the first. Gets all the way out to the 28. Got a couple of blocks there. Synergy's got to brush off the interceptions, and DC's got to find a way to get their running backs involved.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, it's still early in the game. They can't throw away the playbook. They got to work on what they practiced leading up into this game. Keep the running backs involved. Keep the fullback involved. Spread the ball around.
Canton's given up 1 touchdown, 3 field goals this season. The 1 touchdown was to Baltimore. They have forced 10 turnovers. So they've given up 4 scores and forced now 12 turnovers. Great block by Gill on the outside pitch. Kevin Say will get 3.
Yeah, that was a great block. I thought Say might have been able to get some more there, but nice tackle on the defense. All was lining up in that 2-point stance again, but great blocking by DC on that play.
4 receivers, 2 to either side. Steller's in the backfield. They'll hand it off to him. They actually brought Harrison around on kind of a fake reverse. Gronick was not fooled. Only a pickup of 1 will set up a 3rd and 6.
A very disciplined defense on the Canton side. They're not getting thrown off the patterns, and their discipline is showing on each play.
Trips again for the Dragons. Off that right side. Blitz from Canton off Synergy's blind side. It is picked up. Shabazz deep down the field, incomplete. King Jamal again with the pass breakup. He's having a phenomenal quarter. 3-and-out Dragons.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. DC needed to keep the ball going on this. The ball comes back into Canton's hand. It's looking like they're probably going to close out the quarter with another drive. Hopefully they're not going to put some points on the board so DC can stay in this game.
Canton will have to go the distance just a bit. That punt is away. It is deep all the way to the 27-yard line. Returned up to the 29. This DC defense, extremely talented, tons of depth. On the line, Jose Fuentes, Nick Fargo, John Gary, Mike Wagoner, Kano Fortson, and Jason Bourne. Linebackers, Declan O'Rourke, Ben Bowman, Jason Strongbow, Saeed Gore. Their secondary includes Peanut Say, Jadu Bidu, Darrell Bullock, John DeSantis, Tyler Highfield, Josh Vasquez, and Kevin Say Jr. Right now those DBs creeping up as Canton starts their 4th possession of the quarter. It'll be a toss to Cherry, who breaks a tackle
wow.
and then dragged down from below. Oh, Cherry's hurt. Cherry is down. That could be a big loss for Canton, as Declan O'Rourke put in a lot of effort to bring him down from behind.
And that was good coverage on the side by the defense and able to bring down that big fullback. And it looked like right when he got hit, he kind of crumpled, and I thought he might have dropped the ball on his way down, but we'll see if there's any challenge on that.
You saw Coach Ray Donaldson looking at his play sheet, going to the next play up with Cherry out. Cherry has one of the 2 touchdowns tonight. Robert Johnson in the backfield. And the handoff goes to Johnson.
Wow.
He'll pick up 5 on the play. 3rd and 2 coming up.
Yeah, Johnson just lowered his shoulder. It just brought some hurt on that play. The offensive line is for Canton is pretty much doing whatever they want to do on that line. They've got complete control of it, and the running backs for Canton are just having their way as well.
3rd and 2. Can DC get off the field? Handoff lead. Didn't get it. Wrapped up by Saeed Gore with already his second tackle of the night. And the Dragon defense has gotten 2 stops when Canton's had long fields.
They needed it. I mean, they needed it bad after that last series came to a grinding halt. The defense did what they needed to do.
Punt is away for Canton. Charles Brown is their punter. And it's fielded at the 26-yard line. That's Mason Kirby, the returner. Now this is the conundrum, right, Charles? This defense giving up just 4 points a game. They are just impossible. DC's got to figure out something.
Yeah, I mean, maybe toss it to the halfback when a pass, swing pass, whatever, screen. You roll out something. They got to do something to keep the defense of Canton on their toes.
Empty 5 wide. They blitzed and just didn't have enough blockers. Gronick with a 5-yard loss. If you're going to go empty, Charles, you got to get the ball out of your hands quick.
And you have to hold your blocks as well. It looked like they overpowered the middle there, and there was no answer for the offensive line from the offensive line of DC.
They didn't know who to pick up, I don't think.
Nope.
It's a tough assignment. When you send 6 and you only got 5, somebody's bound to make a wrong decision.
Short drop, quick delivery, and have a dump route.
Same, 2nd and 15, empty. Got to watch in case Canton brings pressure. This time they rush just 3. Synergy back to pass. Still being pressured. Breaks off a Volt sack, and the pass is incomplete. And look, it's King Jamal again. His 3rd deflection.
I mean, that's a statement when you send 3 linemen in against the full offensive line of DC, and you're able to put that type of pressure on the quarterback and disrupt the play execution.
Third and long. 4th time Da Vinci's been targeted with just 1 catch for 13 yards. And they'll just flip it to Kevin Say. Wow. That is shocking, Charles. I mean, they have so little confidence right now in this passing game. They just gave up there.
Yeah, I don't understand why they ran that particular play, but clearly the deep passes are being locked down by Canton.
And Canton's got them rattled. End of the first quarter, 14-0. We'll be right back after this. You're watching the SFL's Monday Night Spectacular on YouTube. We start the second quarter here on the Monday Night Spectacular with a DC Dragon punt. Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine with you, Ron Haynes and Rochelle Colston in the stat truck. We flip the field. Classics will have the football at the 48-yard line. Well, actually, we'll mark it just shy of the 50. Gibson on the return. And here we go. So Dragons just trying to hang on right now, Charles.
I mean, they have to figure out a way to disrupt this offense of Canton. I mean, Canton, they've stopped them a couple times, but for the majority of that first quarter, it's been all Canton on offense, just having their way, running at will.
16 yards of offense for DC in that first quarter to 99 for Canton. We'll start this drive with a Robert Johnson run. He'll break off a tackle and pick up 3. That is once more Josh Vasquez on the tackle. His 5th solo tackle of the first half. He is doing his best.
So far they've been playing mistake-free on the Vancouver on the Canton side.
Hey, great win last night, buddy.
Yeah, thank you.
2nd and 7.
Woo, sorry.
26 to go. Logan Lee got a lot of space on the outside. He's got a first down to the 38-yard line. O'Rourke brought down Lee.
I mean, what can you say, Cam? They're just executing their game plan to perfection. Look at that blocking on the edge. Plenty of room for Lee to get the 5 yards just at the go and work on getting a couple extra there.
It was Ryan Owens with the block on the outside. Lee 6 for 29. Johnson 5 for 20. Cherry's got 2 for 9 and a touchdown, and Patterson's even carried the ball 3 times. Handoff to Johnson. O'Rourke and company bring him down a 3-yard gain. Nick Fargo also there on the stop.
They're running a lot out of spread, and in most cases that takes their extra linebacker out of the mix to help on those edges. So it's up to the cornerbacks and the safeties to be able to do quick close and cut down that run off the edge.
Nick Fargo, a 7-time All-Star, 7 tackles away from 1,300 for his career. Got one on that last play as Patterson's pass is caught off the play action. That's Owens' second catch, first down Canton.
That play action fooled me up in the booth. That type of play right there is, DC should probably, take a picture of that play and try and get it on their side, because that type of play action, does wonders for giving some extra time for your quarterback.
55 yards passing so far for Patterson. 78 on the ground for Canton. 1st and 10, 8:10 to go in the first half. Handoff Johnson, and O'Rourke brings him down, but not before Johnson can make 3.5 happen. 2nd and 6.
He's so disciplined. Even on that one play, you thought that Johnson was going to get brought down at the line, but he just kept plugging away. Great coaching there, telling him what to do with the ball after he gets past that line, and was able to get a positive gain.
Back in the red zone is Canton. Handoff. That is the backup fullback with Cherry injured. Jim Finn sets up a 3rd and 2.
Yep. That's keep the fullback engaged, even if you got to bring somebody off the bench. That's what champion teams are made of. Next guy up.
If Cherry's still out at the half, we'll take a look at the updated injury report. 7:15 to go. Patterson going to take off and run, and he is stuffed. The DC Dragons defense steps up again. That was Saeed Gore with the takedown, and it'll force a Rob Ems field goal.
I think out of the entire game so far, that was the one mistake on the offense of Canton. You've got some studs in the backfield, and the line has been blocking their guts out all day. And, why you would run a quarterback on a sneak on that play, it's a head-scratcher.
Woo, Ems almost missed that. Wow. 8-play, 39-yard drive. I was a little nervous there for Rob, but he splits the difference.
A lot of movement on that ball.
Man, that was dangerous.
It almost looked like one of my golf shots, but then it corrected itself, which mine don't.
Rob Ems with his 182nd field goal made, and I wouldn't have known this if I wasn't calling this game tonight, Charles. That's 6th all time for Rob.
That's amazing.
I would have never guessed that Rob Ems was a top 10 kicker in the SFL all time, but He's really carving himself out a pretty amazing career around here.
And that's the weapon you want on your team as well when things are tight.
So 6:50 left in the first half. The Dragons have 1 first down. It was on the Da Vinci catch. They'll go 2 in the backfield here, a little bit different look. Canton's showing pressure on that strong side. Synergy got to get rid of it quick. He does. Caught by Da Vinci, first down to the 35-yard line. Excellent read there by Synergy.
Yeah, he had it looked like Bernstein was on a blitz, running a spear, going in to try and get the quarterback Shabazz, but Shabazz just hung in there and was able to get a perfect pass out to Da Vinci.
First down. Synergy's got 1 in the backfield. Bone Frossel, the $5 super chat. Get that here shortly. Handoff to Kevin Say. And Say's got a decent gain on first down. A pickup of 4. Bone Frossel's super chat. You forgot to mention my amazing cornerback sack on your pregame show. I will assume it was an error and someone will be fired. Who are we firing, Charles?
Oh, O'Neal, definitely. I mean, I will say he shaved and he, washed his hair and he had a collared shirt on, so that's saying a lot.
But it wasn't enough. See ya, O'Neal. Chuck Steller on a fullback handoff has a first down to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, we've seen a couple plays back to back with DC building up some momentum here. Hopefully, we see a little spark here on the offense that's able to, put some points on the board.
Steller's got 3 carries for 14 yards. Say 3 for 6. Synergy's off to a 2 for 8 start, but did get that completion to Da Vinci. A lot of room up at the top of the screen. 5.5 to go. Percoco, no catches. Kirby's at the bottom of the screen. 10 on the play clock. Canton again bringing pressure. And that pass caught by Percoco, who was split out to the left. A 9-yard gain. Synergy is starting to figure out those quick blitzes off of his front side.
I think if DC's gonna win this game, they got to get Percoco involved. She is one of the best tight ends in the league. I mean, she's got a 16.4 yard per catch. You got to get her in the game plan.
O'Neal says, well, them's the breaks. Handoff, Kevin Say with Steller blocking in front of him. Steller was looking for someone to block, but it didn't matter. Say's got a first down on his 4th carry.
Can you feel the momentum?
Yeah.
Cam.
I can. 6th play of the drive.
Yeah.
With the way this defense has played this season, it kind of feels like a miracle. They're going back to that empty 5 wide that gave them fits on the last possession. See if they do with it here. Kirby's going to go in motion. 4 down here at the bottom of the screen on 2. Synergy to throw. Synergy got to get rid of the ball, and Volt nearly got a sack. 2nd down.
I mean, they're sending the dogs at the quarterback, and on most of these plays, even when they're doing heavy blitz, they've got the two safeties back in deep coverage to, as a safety valve. So, they're executing it perfectly, and Shabazz Synergy doesn't have any time to go through his progressions.
2nd down, just outside of field goal range. 6 in the box for Canton. Dangerous play. Mike All shifted outside and got the TFL.
I mean, all day they've been lining up those ends on in 2-point stances, and I think that's one of the reasons why you're able to close that pitch and that swing play all night.
Man, that is a dangerous play against an outside DN like that. 3rd and 15. DC's drive going backwards. Canton's bringing the blitz. Synergy hit as he threw, and that's how the drive ends with Synergy a face full of grass.
Another overload blitz, this time on the left side. And last time we saw it was right up the gut, and they had no answer for it. No time for Shabazz Synergy to get rid of that ball, and we're looking at a punt.
Punt from Ron Van Cleef is called for a fair catch at the 15-yard line, or 14-yard line by Gibson. So long field left for Canton. DC is starting to push back just a bit against these classics.
Yeah, they were, but they just kind of sputtered, and maybe the Canton defense got a little smack in the face and settled in there and started sending some heat into the quarterback, and it just disrupted everything.
Patterson's 4 for 5, 55 yards in the first half. And Canton has DC right where they want him. Flip out to Logan Lee. Lee breaks off a tackle, and Lee's got 9 on the carry. Strongbow with the stop.
That's got to be frustrating. It looked like Dew had him dead to rights. I believe so, at the cornerback there. And thought it was going to be a loss, thought it was going to be a big play. But, man, Logan Lee just showed his how dangerous he is coming out of the backfield.
2nd and 1. 3.5 to go in the first half. Canton goes heavy here. And Patterson going to take off and run. This time he gets away from the defensive line and then plowed by John DeSantis. If I was Canton, with all that I've got going for me right now, the worst thing that could happen would be a Scar Patterson injury. So it's kind of, he's putting himself out there pretty good. The silver lining here is they have 2 quarterbacks behind him, so they can just keep running quarterback sneaks. If the first one gets injured and the second one, they've got a third one. Is that trial by fire? 3:03 to go in the first half. Lee takes the handoff, breaks a couple tackles, and then Peanut Say cleans it up. Excellent tackling cornerback. 2nd and 4.
Yeah, nice tackle, but that was a pretty angry run by Logan Lee. Another play that didn't look like was going to turn out to be much, and he's able to get 6.
Total plays pretty balanced, 31-23 so far. But DC right at that 45 quota. Was that Bill Cherry back in the ball game? I believe so. Gore with his 4th tackle, and Cherry is back from injury, so good news for Canton.
Good news and bad news for DC having to tackle that guy. They did well on that one, and maybe this is another pump in the arm or shot in the arm to give some light to the DC defense. 3rd
and 3. Canton is 2 for 5 on 3rd down, and twice they failed on a Patterson sneak. This time they're going to hand it off to Cherry, and Bill Cherry has nothing. DC's defense comes up with another great stop. Gore in there again, and that takes us to the 2-minute warning. DC not going down without a fight, but their offense still searching for answers. 17-0. You're watching the Monday Night Spectacular on SFL YouTube.
DC needed that. 2 good plays in a row, and then looks like they're getting the ball back here with enough time to put something on the board before half.
If you're new to the Simulation Football League, welcome. The SFL is football for everyone. Get off the sideline and start your player today by joining our Discord server at simulationfl.net. Click the Join the Community button and begin your career or just to meet the stars of the SFL on and off the field. It's never too late to get involved. That punt was a rocket ship, and we can definitely tell where the wind is blowing tonight. DC going to have it in their face in this final minute 51.
They have a lot of real estate to cover here in 1 minute and 51 seconds. I'm saying that, I wouldn't say that for every team, but going up against this Canton defense, that's like 10 miles.
First down, empty again here from Synergy, and Synergy will fire. Caught by Kirby, and Kirby slips past one defender and gets it to the 43-yard line. First down.
That was a very needed catch by Kirby. That's like on the defense, we talked about a shot in the arm. This is a great shot in the arm for the offense. Get some life in them, get some motivation in them, and head into that locker room here with some momentum on their side.
It looks like Charles Canton is willing to give up those, short little slant post routes. That's what DC's been able to connect on as those corners step back and play deep. Gronick almost had a sack. I have no idea how Synergy got that ball over to Da Vinci, but he did, his 3rd catch.
Another overload there, and it looked like Gronick was going to get his second sack, and he just, nice pass. That's a veteran hanging in the pocket there, able to deliver a pass to Da Vinci like that.
Crazy enough, Charles, I think Gronick went for the ball. I think he tried to get an interception. and missed an opportunity on his second sack of the night. Got a little greedy there. Synergy now to throw. That is caught by Kirby. Gets out of bounds. DC has all 3 timeouts. And here the Dragons are again at the Canton 33-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, this is the life we needed to see here. And it's, none too late.
There's Jamal again. Surprised he didn't deflect that pass.
It doesn't look like the defense of Canton is going into a conservative coverage. I mean, they're still sending some heat in there, and Shabazz is able to perform so far.
First down, 1:04 to go. The clock is stopped. All 3 timeouts for the Dragons. You got to be careful not to go backwards like they did on the last drive. Synergy dumps it off quick. That's Josh Gill. A 6-yard gain, and DC will burn their first timeout.
Yeah, this is, I think this, I hate to, I'm kind of afraid to say it, but this is looking like one of their best drive of the night so far.
Man, you're going to rue that, my friend,
Yep.
if something goes wrong.
I'll never be able to stay overnight in DC again.
First down to the Canton 27-yard line. Synergy's working with 2 timeouts. Back to throw deep down the field. It's caught by Da Vinci. Took it right off the helmet of the defender. Timeout, 1 left for the Dragons. That was his best play of the night.
What's that, like the 3rd or 4th one-handed catch on this drive so far, Cam?
Yeah, the Dragons are putting it all together here in the late stages of the first half. Just inside the 10-yard line, 1 in the backfield for Synergy. Look at the space up top. I mean, all day. I think that's Percoco up there. Canton bringing an overload. Blitz, and Gronick got there for the sack. That's DC's last timeout. Gronick's 2nd sack of the night.
Yeah, they had all their deep coverage in the end zone, daring them to try and throw it. And the front line for Canton executed perfectly when was able to disrupt that play.
Gronick 1 sack coming into tonight, so is topping his season totals. Neil Rivers leads the team in sacks with 3.5, 8 in total for the team. And there's number 11, actually. If you stack it all up tonight, that's Volt with the sack.
There's nothing he could do. Too much pressure.
Going backwards. 3rd and goal, incomplete. Looking for Da Vinci. They'll have to settle for 3.
I cursed him, I think. Sorry, DC.
Get O'Neal back. Get O'Neal back in here.
Oh my gosh. I should have shaved before the game.
Field goal for Potty from 35 yards out to get DC on the board. It would make it a 2-score game, and it's good. DC snaps the streak.
To build on.
They
got something to build on.
And they didn't leave Canton a ton of time to end this half either.
And I believe DC gets the ball.
Yeah, they do. You're right, Charles.
Yeah, so not bad. And they got some positivity going into the locker room.
164 to 115 in total yards. 8 first downs now for DC. That's more than Canton in this game.
I mean, it's only 14 points, Cam.
You're right. From the 1, Gibson on the return. Gibson shakes off 1 and wrapped up at the 31-yard line. 28 seconds and 3 timeouts to work with. It's all going to depend on what they get out of this first play, whether or not they'll go conservative or aggressive.
And to add to my previous comment, though, the style of play by Canton, I mean, they are up by 14, but their type of play, it's like death by 1,000 cuts. You're going to be bloodied and tired and worn out by the 4th quarter. I mean, they're so methodical, and every play they're hitting you, and they're disciplined, and it's just, you got to find something to disrupt them on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, you have to hang around. You have to make them sweat a little bit. Otherwise, they're just cool as a cucumber. Lung goes in motion. All 4 receivers in an empty set, +1 off the left. Patterson all day to throw. That pass is incomplete because everyone was dropping into coverage. Just his 2nd incompletion tonight, looking for Owens.
And see what you did, Cam. Now in chat, they're saying I'm not allowed within 50 miles of DC.
I don't think that's legal. What did you do? That there's no law against cursing
There's
a
street
team by
law.
mistake. Street law. You know a lot about street law, Charles?
No, and I don't want to learn it.
Second down. Al Dillapre in motion. Patterson drops to throw. And that pass is off the... Oh, almost caught by Gibson off the deflection, but nearly taken away. I'm not sure that Gibson was looking for the football just yet. 3rd and 10, 19 seconds left.
I mean, they're potentially giving DC a Christmas present being that aggressive at this point in the first quarter. First half.
It's a little surprising. They've come out, throw, and now 3rd and 10, a likely throw unless they run here to just kill some clock. Owens is going to go in motion. Patterson to pass. They brought pressure this time, and that pass is incomplete. And DC's going to get the ball back before the end of the half. Vasquez with the breakup. Charles, if I was DC, I know I get the ball to start the second half. I would run and get to the locker room because you don't.
And I would send.
Go ahead.
I would send every player on special teams to try and block that punt. That's the only thing this could turn out to be, to potentially put some points on the board.
Yeah, because I would not want to throw an interception or have a fumble or any kind of craziness at the end of this half, because you have built some pretty decent momentum here towards the end of the second quarter. Mason Kirby on the punt return, gets up to the 31-yard line with 6 seconds left. They're hanging in there, Charles.
Hanging in there, 2 scores. The key, and this is like a broken record for every announcer, is adjustments at halftime.
Yep.
I think they know what they need to fix on both sides of the ball. It's just it comes down to execution.
See what they do with 6 seconds, no timeouts, ball on the 31. I guess you could catch Canton by surprise, just chuck it deep. They would not be expecting that. I'm going shotgun. Wow. Kind of surprising.
This is Mason Kirby time.
Yeah.
He's done it before.
You're right. Mason Kirby's been a hero on multiple teams in multiple big moments. They are sending it, and Synergy is chucking it, and it is incomplete. Looking for Gill. Not a bad attempt on that. Evan Lacey with the pass breakup. Oh, look, there's 1 second left. Thought for sure that would have run out the clock.
We still have a chance.
I want to know where DC got these blue belts. I like the belts.
You like the belts?
I like the belts. I like the light blue belt. Now I'm going to have 8 show up at my doorstep on Christmas morning or something. Synergy's pass is incomplete. Looking for Gill. And King Jamal is there to stick him. He's my MVP of the first half.
Yeah, I think him and Gronick have been really putting the hurt on DC.
That's the half. 17-3. The unbeaten Canton Classics lead the Dragons by 14 here at Fatherhood Festival Field, trying to extend their home win streak to 10. Your thoughts on the first half?
I mean, not a lot of surprises on the Canton side. I mean, we weren't maybe the one thing that surprised me is the amount of runs that Scar had out of the backfield, but he didn't. He only attempted 8 passes. Most of the time, they've been feeding the ball to their 3-pronged attack out of the backfield, and Johnson, Lee, and Cherry. It's been very effective. On the defensive side, they've been effective when they've sent in extra blitzer packages, as well as just sending 3 to 4 in to get the quarterback. They've been disrupting Shabazz Synergy on almost every play. I mean, we saw some light in the late second half for DC. We're hoping that they can build on that, make some adjustments, but I mean, Vancouver, with the exception of, oh my God, there I go again. Canton, with the exception of 1 or 2 plays, has played a pretty perfect first half.
29 offensive plays for the DC Dragons in that first half. Canton averages 45 to their opponents. So from that standpoint, DC has been able to move the football, get a little bit of work done. But ultimately, if they're going to win this game, they've got to figure out how to get the ball into the end zone on this Canton defense, and only Baltimore has managed to do that this season. From the 4-yard line, Mason Kirby on the return. Check that, Harrison on the return. and he gets ripped around at the 25-yard line by Joshua Durr.
Yeah, normally when the head spins around like that, we see a face mask, but I guess he wasn't grabbing the face mask on that play.
Ron Haynes and Rochelle Colston in our stat truck tonight, the All-Star team. Charles Doherty, a part of that All-Star team, and I am here for the show. 17-3. Canton on top by 2 scores, and DC will start with a run to Kevin Say up the middle, pick up a couple.
Yeah, they're doing a bunch of different looks on that line for Canton to throw off the quarterback for DC on that one. You see the defense. You just look at the defensive end. They always have one defensive end in the 2-point stance, and either they cover that swing side of the play or they back up into coverage.
2nd and 8. 3 wide, center G, quick throw, and was almost picked by Mike All, who almost looked like he dropped back into coverage just a little bit, looking for Percoco, 3rd down.
I think the problem was it hit both of Mike All's hands.
Should have hit him in his gut. 3rd and 8 for the Dragons. 0 for 4 on 3rd down tonight. Synergy. Back to throw. Pressure. Got rid of it. Oh, Percoco over the top of the defense. 30. Lauren Percoco in a foot race. 20. Down to the 15-yard line. Wrapped up at the end of the play by Dedrick Law. But wow, Synergy pulled a rabbit out of his hat on that one.
Definitely, and that's the weapon you need to get involved. I said it once before. Lauren Percoco, one of the best tight ends in the league, huge yards per catch. I mean, you just get her involved, and we can see how dangerous she is after catching the ball.
A 48-yard pass to Percoco, her 2nd catch, now 57 yards, ties her with Da Vinci. Synergy 9 of 21 for $155, and those 2 early interceptions. Toss. Kevin Say has some initial space, and Say will pick up 4. Say now up to 15 yards.
It's a smart run play there on 1st down. Get to see what the oh my gosh, Canton is showing on defense, so they know what to run here on 2nd and 6.
8:35 to go in the 3rd quarter. DC back in the red zone, but can they finish? That's the question. James Walters goes in motion. Handoff, Chuck Steller up the middle, and Steller's going to set up a 3rd down and short for DC. Just converted their first 3rd down on that last chuck to Percoco.
Love the play selection so far for DC. I mean, they're in striking distance here. Don't try and put all your cards on the table here.
2 in the backfield for the Dragons. They need the 4.5. Handoff. That is the backup to Steller, and he's short of the 1st down. Brackett on the tackle. That is the worst time for something like that, Charles.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of think that if Steller had the ball, we would have been looking at a different circumstance here, but that's unfortunate after that great drive.
The Canton Classics hold again, but DC continues with their momentum. Potty's field goal is good. Back-to-back scoring drives, not counting the end of the first half. 7-play, 68-yard drive, nearly 10 yards per play there for DC on that series. And we'll see what their defense can do to start their 2nd half.
I mean, we're looking at 11 points here, so DC is hanging in there. They're fighting tough. So I mean, we're talking like they're down by 30, which isn't the case at all.
No, not at all. In fact, if you look at the team stats, updated team stats right now, the Dragons have more total yards than Canton up to this point. As this return will get to the 28-yard line. There's your updated numbers. More 1st downs, more passing yards, more total yards. Average yards per play is the same, but it's touchdowns, not field goals. That's the difference.
And mistakes.
Yeah, and mistakes. Yeah.
So let's see what the defense of DC can do on this one. I mean, they've shown the ability to stop these drives, these killer drives of Canton. See if they can show some magic on this drive as well.
Canton 4 turnovers in 4 games. That's second fewest in the league. We talked in the SFL This Week show that DC has the #1 yards per attempt passing offense at 9.8. Synergy at 7.4 tonight. They like to get the ball moving down the field. They did with Percoco on that last drive. Robert Johnson's got a lane. He'll get 8 yards on his 8th carry.
I mean, that's a great play on first down, and it's great luxury to be able to, knock out 8 yards on a carry up the middle.
Patterson has thrown 3 incompletions in a row when he's had to throw, 2nd and short. And he'll take off and run, and Patterson's got a little bit of space, and he has the first down as Darrell Bullock was coming in to try to decapitate him. Slides to safety.
I mean, I think he should maybe cover up that ball a little better. He's got one mid on it, and one of those defenders could knock it out.
Playing with fire for sure. Patterson going to drop the throw. 4-man rush. Patterson down the field, intercepted. One-handed pick. Back the other way to the Canton 41-yard line. That ball snagged away by Josh Vasquez.
That's great. I mean, that is what they needed. I mean, we talked about a couple punches in the arm. That was like a kick in the arm. This is what they need to get continued momentum on their side. They're in great position on the right side of the 50-yard line to put some more points on the board.
Here's a look at Synergy's numbers. Those incompletions came mostly there towards the end of the first half, but you could see what he did on that field goal drive late there in the second quarter. Those 5 straight completions down the field, and then the one to Percoco, his last throw of this game that went for 48. Gill goes in motion, 1st and 10 on the Canton 40. Synergy drops to throw, another empty look here, and Shabazz down the field, caught. Mason Kirby, first down to the Canton 28.
I mean, most of the first half, Cam, we saw zone coverage out of Canton, and I think that Shabazz and the coaches for DC kind of figured that out, and they're able to attack it. Let's see if Canton makes some adjustments, and maybe we see a little more man look out of them.
Kirby's with his 3rd catch. Da Vinci's got 4, Kirby 3, Percoco 2, and Gill 1. Is how Synergy has distributed the ball tonight. 6:12 to go in the 3rd. Synergy going to throw again. Shabazz checks it down short. That's Josh Gill. Will get 4 yards on the play.
So far, so good. I mean, they're not trying to rush it down the field. Smart play calling, and they're doing what they need to do.
5:48 to go in the 3rd. Clock continues to tick. The over is still secure at 34.5. Stellar goes in motion. He gets the block, and then Kevin Say cuts back inside off of it to get a couple. Nice job by Stellar.
A nice block on the edge there. In the 3rd and 4, I mean, this is, again, I wouldn't try and go for the end zone. They probably will, because I'm always wrong on this, but keep the ball moving and be alive for another series.
2 receivers both at the bottom of the screen. Kirby in those light blue sleeves, standing at about the 19-yard line. Walters goes in motion. Roll out Shabazz. Shabazz over the middle. Caught Percoco down to the 11-yard line. Man, he had to squeeze that one in there.
A perfect play. They brought the extra tight end down there to help with the blocking on the rollout. I mean, we talked about ways to get this Canton defense on their heels, and one of them is the rollout, but you have to execute it perfectly on that play right there. They did a clinic on doing a rollout.
Sam Harrison was in to block. I don't know if you saw that, Charles, but he was just kind of in the way. I wonder if he said something to the defender, because he definitely wasn't going to win that matchup. Dump off to Stellar. Stellar is going to be dragged down about the 6-yard line. There's an injured Classic on the play. That's Frank Bernstein. That's the 2nd time we've seen a Classic player go down.
Yeah, I mean, he's been leading the team in interceptions for Canton. That might have changed tonight, but he's a key piece of the puzzle for the defense at Canton.
DJ in the chat. Charles, would you mind saying it looks like DC is going to get in the end zone? DJ plays for Canton, by the way, if you're not connecting the dots there. 2nd and goal at the 5.5. Synergy handoff, Stellar down to the 2.5. 3rd and goal. Gronick with the stop, and here we are again.
Yeah, this is a big check here for the DC offense. They got to execute and put some points on the board.
Stellar's in, along with Say. Look at Gronick's night. 8 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs as well. 3rd and goal. Everybody stacked up for Canton. Now shifting as Da Vinci goes out wide. Somebody's got to go with him. That's going to be Diedrich Law's responsibility. Handoff, Say. Kevin Say not going to get in. What a stop. Impressive defense. That is Kanye Rockefeller, 4th down.
Oh, my God. That was an impressive one-on-one tackle there. And that's what we heard in chat someone say, we're not on our heels, we good. And it showed on that play. My gosh, that was like one of the tackles of the night. Rockefeller set that up.
Paudy's field goal is good. He's been a valuable asset tonight for DC. 8-play, 40-yard drive. He is a perfect 3 for 3. It's down to a 1-score game, and even though Canton just got that stop there, Charles, it does kind of feel like DC's got a little bit of momentum here, but wow, that was huge.
And they've been, like we talked about execution. I mean, they've been executing with the exception of a play or two with perfection, and they've seen something on the Canton side on their defense that they can take advantage of.
From the 1, this is long on the return. That's the 20 to the 26-yard line. We'll check on Bernstein if we don't see him back in the game before the end of the 3rd quarter. Another look at the return. For me, the stat of the night is plays. There's the yards, DC leading 212 to 178, but I would have never expected that DC would have had more plays than, I mean, that's what Canton does. It keeps your offense off the field. At least DC has accomplished that tonight. Let's see what Canton can do on this next possession. Logan Lee's got a lot of blockers, and Lee has to be chased down from behind. He was 1 tackle away from scoring. A 13-yard pickup, best run of the game by either team.
Yeah, definitely. That was a big play on 1st down, and that's what the offensive Canton needed. That's they're still in this, obviously, and they just need to, strap it down a little bit more and execute. I mean, they've been executing great early part of the 1st half. Last couple series, they made a couple mistakes, but they show what they can do on that play.
Handoff, Robert Johnson going to be stopped in the backfield. Strongbow gets back there for the first TFL of the game for the DC Dragons. The Brew Kettle of Canton, Ohio, located just steps outside the end zone of the Tom Benson Hall of Fame Stadium in the Hall of Fame Village, is the place to watch classic games just like this one. You can also enjoy specialty crafted beer from the Canton Brewing Company, or try your hand at the attached Top Golf Swing Suite. That's the Brew Kettle of Canton, Ohio, the official home of the Canton Classics. And for everybody watching tonight at the Brew, we're happy that you're here. That pass caught by Jack Wall. 1st down. That is Scar Patterson's first completion since the 1st quarter.
That was a great completion. He didn't have the time as he's had all games, had some pressure right up the middle, but was able to stand in there and fire the perfect, well, not necessarily perfect, but a great pass for Wall to bring it in and get that big gain.
We have hit our triple-digit quota for the night, Charles, so what's it feel like to have 100 or so people listening to every word you say?
And I know that they'll correct every word I say as well, so.
That is the internet, after all. Johnson gets 6. I will say Canton in the 2nd half, they do seem to be finding a little bit better run lanes inside and outside.
Definitely. And they're up by 8, but they know the winning solution here, and they've shown they've been able to execute.
2 in the backfield for Canton, 7 in the box for the Dragons, down 8. Play fake. Patterson down the field and got him. Ryan Owens, 1st down, his 3rd catch of the night. Excellent play call.
Yeah, excellent. That play action. I mean, Scar executes that perfectly. That was another one that I was waiting for the running back to run up the middle.
Man,
Look at that protection. I mean, perfect, perfect for any quarterback.
Throws the defense, and Canton is responding after their defense got a stop at the 1-yard line. The Dragons with 9 play drives, 7 play drives, and 8 play drives ending in field goals. 1:26 to go in the third. Gibson goes in motion. Owens, Wall, and Johnson still the lone players with a catch tonight in the pass game. Patterson will drop to throw for the 12th time. That pass is incomplete. Owens is tagged by DeSantis.
We've seen a lot of big hits tonight, and that's the type of hit you need to make. It's that close to the end zone. Cannot let the wide receiver catch that ball.
Chad Rowland says we're only here for Charles. You a big Chad Rowland fan?
I'm a big fan of his beard.
Yeah, it's a pretty good beard.
Yeah,
I got nothing to say on that. It's a good beard.
Very, very well groomed. Put a lot of work into it.
2nd and 10, 1:14 left in the third. Canton in scoring position as Patterson gets Jack Wall, and Jack Wall down to the 5. We saw that in the first half, Wall getting open on that corner route.
He's been running routes tonight to perfection. We've seen a couple deep routes, and this is just one of them where he's able to get some separation, find that little seam in the zone.
Peanut Say with another stop. Canton 13th in red zone trips, 11th in touchdowns, 10th in field goals. Was still above average red zone offense. Play fake from Patterson. Oh, what a dump off. Bill Cherry touchdown. Wow, a play fake fullback throw into the slot. That is just gorgeous.
And that's gorgeous, and that was the perfect way to answer the last series that DC had on offense. I mean, they just took it down the field, moved at will, and put 7 on the board, or 6 at this point.
Patterson 3 touchdowns in his first 4 games and 2 tonight, and once more touchdowns beat field goals. That has been the difference in this one. What a response, Charles, to an 8-play 40-yard drive, an 8-play 75-yard 3-minute drive to put the Classics back up 2 scores.
Yeah, I mean, with 44 seconds left in the third, I mean, it's we're only talking a couple scores here, but they are running out of time on the DC side and need to not saying abandon their game plan for the second half, but need to have somewhat of a sense of urgency, getting some points on the board.
Harrison on the return will get up to the 25-yard line. You know, Charles, how they say in a 7-game playoff series, the series really doesn't start until the home team loses. A game doesn't start against Canton until you score a touchdown on it. That's what it feels like, right? Until you can get in the end zone, we're just all watching another Canton victory. You got to find a way to cross that paint, and then things get interesting.
This defense of Canton is so hard to score against. I mean, it's a head scratcher how they're going to be able to put something on the board and get in the end zone for that matter.
Hand off to Stellar to start the drive, and he is tattooed after a pickup of just 1. Gronick's having himself a stellar night. And what's interesting, Charles, just seeing Canton live for the first time tonight. Jamal, 2 pass deflections coming into tonight. He's got 2 in this game. Mark Gronick, 1 sack tonight. He has 2 in this game. It's players that haven't necessarily been the stars of this defense tonight that have shown up so far, as Synergy drops to throw on 2nd and short, and he fires it over to Gill. That's caught to set up a more 3rd and manageable.
Every 3rd down at this point for DC is going to be huge. They've got to execute. So you've got a veteran quarterback in there in Synergy, but man, the defense of Canton has really been putting the heat on.
End of the third, 24-9. Classics lead the Dragons. We'll be right back. This is the Monday Night Spectacular.
The Simulation Football League is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or account of the game without the express written consent of the league office is prohibited.
Start of the 4th quarter with Ron Haynes, Rochelle Colston, Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine with you at Fatherhood Festival Field here in Canton, Ohio. Beautiful night, hovering around freezing clear skies. And the pressure mounting once again on the DC Dragon offense, 3rd and 5 to start the quarter. Synergy to throw, nearly sacked, but again, Kirby is open on the slant route, slant post, whatever you want to call it, Charles. Kirby's got the first down.
It looks like the defense of Canton is kind of sitting back on that deep zone coverage and allowing those medium routes.
Yeah, it's almost, Charles, like they're cleaning it up. It's a bend but don't break defense, right? Hey, if we can get a sack, great. If we don't, kudos to the quarterback. We'll wrap them up, live to fight another day.
I mean, you can run a cover 12 all night as long as that defensive line is getting the pressure they've been getting.
Synergy sacked, and it's not the defensive line. It's the cornerback, Joshua Durr, out of the slot, his first sack of the season.
Yeah, the offensive line for DC does not have an answer for this. The blitz packages of Canton, excuse me.
We're going to have to get you a muzzle at this point.
Because it's C-A-N. I see C-A-N up there.
Ah, Can Van. Yeah.
Yes.
That is confusing.
Did that on purpose.
I'll put ton up there next time. And then
blame you, Cam.
2nd and 16. Da Vinci goes in motion. Team's leading receiver with 4 catches tonight. Synergy's got a little bit of time. Now he's going to take off and run. Spins away. And then the pursuit of Canton gets there pretty quickly. A 3-yard gain will still set up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, great coverage downfield. They're just, setting up shop deep, having deep zones, for the 2 safeties and the 2 cornerbacks just standing back there in the outfield.
3rd and 13. DC needs it to keep the drive alive. Oh, they hand it off to Kevin Say. Now, okay, I get it towards the end when you're backed up in your own territory, but in a moment like this in the 4th quarter, you just can't do that. That's a crazy play call right there.
The only reason why you would is if you're thinking about going on 4th.
Or you're just trying to slow down that pass rush, right? Maybe you get outside, because they're just bringing so much pressure. I mean, I can see trying to trick a defense that's pinning their ears back, but it didn't work. Of course, Charles, hindsight's 20/20. If it would have worked, we would have been calling them geniuses for running on them when they least expected.
If I would have called a run play, they would have thrown it in the end zone. That's how it normally works.
I think DC would have wanted you to do that then in that case.
I might have been allowed back into town.
First down to the 26-yard line. Canton's defense with a big stop. 8:05 left. If I put up ton, I'll start calling them London. Cancun sounds pretty good right about
thanks,
now.
Mark.
Patterson's pass is incomplete on an overthrow. Friday SFL action is off this week. We begin with 4 games on Saturday. It all starts with Vancouver and Fort Worth, Charles. That should be a good one. I know that you've already started prep work on those Toros. They are pesky.
Yep. Mark's already started yelling at people.
8:01 to go, 2nd and 10 for Canton. They'll hand it off to Johnson. Johnson, not a lot of space there. That's cleaned up by O'Rourke. Set up a 3rd down and long for the Classics. Other games on Saturday, LA goes to Mexico City. The Aztecs trying to get to 500. Tulsa is at Houston. That is going to be an exciting game. 3-2 versus 4-1. Motor City's at Portland. Somebody's got to get their offense going as those 2 teams try and pick up a midseason W. That starts SFL action on Saturday, and then a rare Sunday matinee, Seattle, Charleston, and these DC Dragons at Jacksonville. Empty backfield, 5 wide for Patterson, 3rd down and 10. DC's bringing some pressure. That pass is caught by Owens. He is short of the first down. A first down saving tackle from Peanut Say. He has been absolutely terrific tonight.
Yeah, that DC needed it. I mean, it goes without saying.
Coach
that was cool.
Ray Donaldson challenging the spot of the ball. Not sure he's going to win it, but we'll take a retroactive.
I don't think so either. But,
take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com. Looking for the ball across the line. We'll get 2 looks at it here. Does it get there? Don't
Nope.
think so. Get the call. It stands. Donaldson's not going to be happy. Canton will lose a timeout, and they'll have to punt the football away. Another stop for the Dragon defense. Keep it a minute.
They don't have to. They could do a scar run up the middle.
Oh, that's true. Well, now they're going to punt. I think you did that on purpose.
I told you. If I would have said they punted it.
Punt is coming from Charles Brown. You are too fun, my friend.
Yeah.
Punt is away from the 20. This is Kirby on the return. He'll get up to the 27-yard line, and DC still got time. 7 minutes, plenty of time. Just have to mount a touchdown drive. That's it. No big deal.
No, yeah. And I would, if I had a vote in the matter, I would make sure Prococo, the tight end, got a couple targets in this series.
Yeah, I'm with you. 3 catches, 65 yards. Kirby has 65, Da Vinci 57, so pretty good balance there, but Prococo's been the only one that's gotten a reception over 25 yards tonight. Synergy 7.6 yards per attempt. That is a couple yards under the team's average. First down. Handoff. There is no space. That's been another adjustment that Canton's made in the second half. Volt with his second tackle, but those run lanes have dried up for Kevin Say.
Yeah, I mean, I may be wrong, which isn't a shocker here, but when they're showing that deep zone, I'm not seeing a lot of flood routes from DC as well. I mean, that's the perfect defense against that zone.
And off the edge, Mike All's got the sack. Nobody picked him up, 3rd and long. 5th sack of the night for Canton.
I mean, Mike All was in the quarterback's face all night. It was only a matter of time. Not one blocker even had a shot at him. He was lined up so wide.
The tackle missed him. Just missed him. Those are All's numbers. Third and 13. Gronick showing a blitz in dime. He's coming. They just run again. Wow. That is frustrating. It's, third and long offense. You're so worried about taking a sack, but I mean DC's got to be pulling their hair out right now.
It puts a lot of pressure on the defense of DC here.
Away, Gibson to the 42-yard line. There is another injured player in this game. That is Kevin Say Jr. And he'll be taken off the field. These divisional matchups, Charles, is rough and tumble out there.
Definitely right. They've been having a lot of big hits.
.546 left. Canton playing out the stretch. And what do you know? DC's at 45 total offensive plays. First down to the 42. Dillapre Sr. has been real quiet tonight. Doesn't even have a target. Goes in motion. The handoff goes to Johnson. Robert Johnson's got 5. Patterson tonight, 9 of 16. 119 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick.
Yep. Now I can't come within 200 of DC, so looking good for me and my family reunion next summer.
5:25 left. Handoff Lee. Lee gets away, and Logan Lee's got a first down to the Dragon 44-yard line. Lee approaching 80 yards of rushing.
I mean, this is what Canton does best, and they've done it all night, is the great pass blocking, run blocking, running. Just a very disciplined team, and at this point, being down by so much, DC is looking for a miracle, I think.
Three receivers for Canton. That's Owens going in motion. Patterson hit and fumbled. It's picked up by Canton. The offensive lineman rumbling, bumbling, a loss of 12, but that is Max Van Linge recovering the fumble. We'll see if Canton challenges, but what a heads-up play. That could have been a huge momentum swing.
Yeah, I mean, the only negative thing you could say is UC should have held on to that ball.
Kano Fortson got in there to force the fumble on Patterson. That's definitely going to stand. As Patterson coughed it up, a loss of 12, so Canton is in a bind. This is DC's chance here. Second and 22. They're bleeding some clock. They'll flip it out to Bill Cherry this time, and Cherry is going to be nearly ushered out of bounds. Yeah, gets 9 yards.
Smart run in there. Again, this team is built for this situation. Ahead late in the fourth quarter, they have been executing perfectly. With the exception of that one mistake on the block pattern. DC needs to do something to disrupt this.
Ryan Owens knows his assignment, man. He is a great run blocker out there. Doing a good job all season long. 3rd and 13. Nickel look for the Dragons. Patterson in a passing situation. And they'll run it. Logan Lee, 3rd and 13, and Lee's not going to get there. I'm kind of surprised too, Charles. Of course, when you got the defense Canton does, you really don't need to score any more points at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that play call at all, because they still get the milk. It's going to be under 2 minutes by the time DC gets the ball back.
Well, under 3, you mean?
Excuse me, that's what I meant, under 3.
Yeah, they're going to bleed some time. I got to give DC credit. It's a hostile place to play. Canton on their way to their 10th win in a row. And, DC they played them tough all night. They really have. Synergy threw 2 interceptions early, hasn't thrown another one. Percoco showed up. A lot of their defense showed up to play great. This one is going to be downed at the 1.
Unbelievable.
That play made by Joshua Durr, who had the sack.
Wow. There are a bunch of coaches out there wishing that their team could do that.
That was brilliant. I mean, in the SFL, you just need to get possession of the football outside of the end zone, and that's exactly what Durr did. And now DC is backed up in the end zone. The pass is off the hands of Percoco. Da Vinci almost caught it. Man, Lauren's got to come up with that.
I mean, I would, based on where they are, I would try and just get a couple yards on a play so they can have a little bit of cushion. They're in a very dangerous spot.
Boy, empty. Good luck. 4 wide. Canton bringing pressure. It's picked up. Synergy's pass is incomplete. Kirby against Evan Lacey. 3rd down.
Yep, they're all just sitting back there, past the sticks and waiting for the ball to release, and they close on the receiver and just light them up.
I have never felt more nervous for a quarterback than I do right now for Shabazz Synergy. 205 passing yards tonight. I am stunned they are going empty. I mean, that is just, it takes some guts. They rushed just 3. Synergy's pass is incomplete. 4th down. I mean, you got to go for it, right? You got no other choice.
Yeah. I think you need to have a formation where you've got somebody back there helping with the block. Puts a lot of pressure on your offensive lineman.
Oh, boy. You don't see this every day. 4th and 10 from the half-yard line. Canton trying to put a finishing touch on this game. Da Vinci in motion. Synergy, throw, incomplete. Percoco in and out of the hands. Dedrick Law on the deflection, and that's your ball game.
That is your ball game, and it was set up with that perfect punt and play on the punt as well. Oh my gosh, that was a horrible position to start from for DC.
Yeah, that was all on that punt, all on Joshua Durr. Making that terrific play. I don't think DC is in that position if they're on their own 20-yard line. And this is an impossible task to ask of your defense. Patterson, first and goal, going to take it himself. He slid and he didn't get in. Are you kidding me? I think he thought he had it, Charles.
Yeah, I know, did. A little early on the slide. I don't think there was anyone around him. I mean, I thought he had a free path into the end zone. He probably could have walked in.
You know what's crazy, Charles, too, is that the over is 34.5 and we're at 33. And if you're betting on this game, that gave you a heart attack just then.
I know.
Second and goal. Patterson doesn't have to snap it. And we hit the 2-minute warning. By the hairs of their chinny chin chin, DC clinging 24-9. You're watching the Monday Night Spectacular.
What would be cool to see Scar dive over the line.
Yeah. Need a dive, not a slide. Classics, 2 in the backfield. Handoff, Cherry, almost stopped. He's in. Touchdown, Canton.
It was only a matter of time. I mean, they've been running, effectively all night, and they're set up in a choice position on the field. And the defense of DC has got to be, gassed by this point.
It's Cherry's third touchdown of the season. Again, kind of the theme of the night. He only had 1 coming into the game. 2 tonight gives him 3 on the season. I mean, Bill Cherry, Dedrick Law, Mark Gronick, Joshua Durr. These are not the names that we had on our scouting report coming in, right? I mean, it's just a heck of a team effort by the Classics, honestly.
Yeah, that just shows how dangerous they are for the rest of the league. You can shut down their stars, and somebody else is going to stand up and execute.
Canton is at Louisiana next week. The Revs trying to shake off a stunning fourth quarter. They were in that game against Seattle, and as Nick Twice gets the return of the 26, the rookie, and then gave up 38 points to the Nemesis. Seattle moves to 4-1. Of course, next week in Week 7, that's when all the teams in the league get to their 6th game. It's the exact halfway point of the regular season. Everyone's had at least one bye, so it'll be interesting to check out all the leaderboards and see where everybody stacks up halfway through the season. First and 10 at the 26. Synergy down the field, incomplete. Looking for Kirby. It's a couple of
spicy. Still sending people.
yeah, they're still sending people. Couple spicy matchups Sunday night, Charles. Denver, Indy in the late block. That's a pair of 2 and 3 teams that have played some pretty good football at times this season. And Queen City at Minnesota, 3-2 versus 4-1. Minnesota's won 4 in a row. That's gonna be a good one.
Definitely.
Pass incomplete. Looking for Prococo, 3rd and 10, and at this point, DC has lost all momentum. 5 straight incompletions. 6, rather.
So who do we have on our game next week?
Next week, we have Baltimore, San Diego.
Okay.
Which is...
I've heard of those teams.
Yeah, it's a pretty spicy matchup. Baltimore 2 and 3. Just got the road win against Mexico City. They will continue to try and keep pace. San Diego's won 3 in a row. So that's going to be a fun one. Gronick with the deflection. 7 incompletions in a row, 4th down.
That defense is so scary of Canton. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, they can blitz, they can cover, they can tackle. I don't see any weakness in it.
4th and 10. Synergy incomplete. Looking for Da Vinci. And Canton just needs one more first down to put a wrap on this thing.
Yeah, and DC, they've had 2 tough teams that they had to play against.
Yeah.
But it's two games where they haven't been able to get into the end zone, so I'm sure that they're definitely going to spend some extra hours trying to figure out what kind of adjustments they need to make to their offensive game plan.
It's been a tough stretch for the Dragons. They're on the road again at Jacksonville. They started with 3 at home, and then now they're right in the thick of their road trips. They're going to be at Seattle on March the 10th after a bye, as well as Johnson gets a carry for 3 yards. So I mean, this is the brutal part of the Dragons' schedule. They've got to find a way to, beat a Jacksonville or beat a Seattle, get a win on the road, and stop this slide. It's just been 2 tough weeks for the offense.
And they've got a seasoned staff over there, so they'll figure it out, I think.
Flip out, Bill Cherry, and Cherry is just shy of a first down. 1 more yard will get it done. Maybe it'll be Patterson.
Ooh, yeah. So I'm going to say Patterson is not going to touch the ball, run the ball on this one. It's going to be a pass in the end zone.
Canton continues to look like the championship contenders they are, tied with Florida, who won last season's championship at the top of the standings. Those 2 teams will play in Week 13. 3rd and 1. It's Cherry. It's a first down to the 11-yard line, and that will wrap things up. This is going to be a tough, Charles. Player of the game.
Wow. I don't know. I mean, I could give 1 on both sides of the ball, but I think even though his numbers didn't light up, but Scar Patterson, I think he runs his game plan better than any quarterback runs theirs in the league. I mean, it's not flashy. He does what he needs to do. He makes great decisions and doesn't make many mistakes. I mean, that's what you need for a quarterback that's going to take you deep into the playoffs.
I'm gonna go a little out of the box here because I think it was the biggest play of the night, and I'm gonna give it to someone we've only mentioned basically 1 time tonight, but it was the most important play of the game. That was Kanye Rockefeller. That 3rd and goal stick.
Oh yeah.
Right at the goal line. If DC scores a touchdown there, all of a sudden this game changes, right? I mean, the momentum now has completely flipped to DC. It is a 4-point game, and we're talking about a potential upset. But that Rockefeller play, he also had 8 tackles tonight, so it wasn't like that was the only thing he did. But I think that Rockefeller play set this game in motion for Canton to clean it up and take care of business.
And, if looking back on the game, the only thing I wish differently is that you could have said Jacques Le Pancake more often, because it looked like you've been practicing.
It's hard, man. You just try and say it right.
I mean, I thought I was in a Paris bistro when you pronounced the name.
Hey, we got to say Max Van Linge on the fumble recovery.
Jacques Le Pancake.
Hey, that's pretty good. You should do the line. You should do the lineups next week. That's it. That's a wrap. Coaches shake hands, 31-9. Canton wins, and the Classics improved to 5-0. They've now won 10 in a row at home. Rochelle Colston and Ron Haynes did an excellent job on our stats tonight. Here's your final look at the numbers. DC held Canton under 300 yards, but just couldn't muster up enough on 3rd down and the rest. Your final thoughts, Charles, on the ballgame.
Canton's scary. I mean, they don't make mistakes, and I don't see any weakness in special teams or defense or offense. So, teams that are playing them better put in that extra work, because it's going to be tough beating them.
Next week, Baltimore goes to San Diego on the Monday Night Spectacular. For all of us at our Monday Night Spectacular crew, I'm Cameron Irvine. He's Charles Doherty, Rochelle Coast, and Ron Haynes. Thanks very much. Chris Curtis, Tyler Falk back next week. Y'all have a great evening. Final score, Canton 31, DC 9. This has been the SFL Week 6. Have a great week, everybody.